So, good morning everyone. Today we will discuss about speed control of in three-phase induction motor. Okay. The speed control of three-phase induction motor. So, in that speed control of three-phase induction motor, like it is a speed control of DC motor. So, similar to that, so we can control the speed of induction motor also. So a three-phase induction motor, it is a practically constant speed motor. Okay, so three-phase induction motor is a practically constant speed motor. Okay, so like a DC shunt motor. So resemble the likewise DC shunt motor. What is the characteristics of DC shunt motor? So it is also a constant speed characteristics, right? Speed versus IA characteristics. Constant speed characteristics. Similar to that, three-phase induction motor is also a constant speed motor. But the speed of DC shunt motor can be varied smoothly. So in DC shunt motor, we can vary the speed in smoothly just by varying a simple rheostat. But in case of induction motor, we cannot connect the rheostat for the squirrel cage induction motor circuit. Okay, and also squirrel cage rotor, it is very difficult to connect the rheostat to the rotor circuit, and to achieve the speed control by means of performance of induction motor in terms of power factor, efficiency, and it will gets affected if you vary the speed. So these things are going to be affected because your n is equal to ns into 1 minus s. So if n is varied, your slip is also becomes varied. So ns is equal to 120 of divided by p. So how we can vary the speed? So by means of varying the frequency and varying the number of poles. Okay, so therefore from this expression we can see that the speed of the induction motor can be changed either changing the synchronous speed, that is ns, or by changing the slip. So ns or slip, so these two concepts, by using this we can change the speed of the induction motor. So speed of induction motor is, that is n. Okay, so therefore, there are so many types of speed control of induction motor. So we can discuss now. So basically, there are two methods. First method is control from stator side, and control from rotor side. Second. So how we can control from stator side? That is by changing the apply voltage that is applied voltage V. If you vary the voltage, the input voltage, whatever the 450 volt is there, so by varying the some auto transformer and all those things, we can change the speed of the induction motor. Similarly, by changing the applied frequency, so applied frequency is 50 hertz, right? So we can vary the frequency, so then also speed will be varied. So this is called as V by F control. It is also called as voltage and frequency ratio. So we need to maintain this constant ratio, voltage and frequency. In that ratio we can maintain the constant ratio and vary the frequency. And third one, by changing the number of stator poles. So cos your ns is equal to 20 f by p. If you vary the frequency or if you vary the number of poles, your speed is going to be changing according to the equation. So we can write the different speed control of induction. Similarly for rotor circuit, so
The
rotor,
screen is not visible, sir.
oh sorry, so now it is visible, right?
Yes, sir.
So control from stator side by changing the applied voltage V, by changing the applied frequency V by F control, and by changing the number of stator poles, and control from rotor's side also, control from rotor side also. So that one, rotor rheostatic control. Second one, cascade control. Third one, by injecting an EMF, that is called as slip frequency voltage, that is in the rotor circuit. So these are the types of speed control of three phase induction motor. Yeah, speed control technique. Okay, got these things. So we'll discuss one by one. So first one is from stator side. So first one is called as voltage control. By varying the applied voltage. So how we can vary the applied voltage? So voltage is a slip control method. If you slip is vary, your voltage is also becomes varies. With constant frequency, variable voltage begins applied to the motor stator. Obviously, the voltage should only be reduced below the rated value. So your torque equation, torque is directly proportional to the slip times of E2 square into R2 divided by R2 square plus SX2 whole square. So from this E2, that is also equal to V. E2 means the voltage, also directly proportional to the voltage. EMF and voltage both are same. Under low slip region, Sx2 whole square, this is very much less than R2, hence it is neglected. So therefore your torque is directly proportional to S into V square into R2. In the place of E2 I will write E in the place of R2 divided by R2 square. So this will be neglected Sx2 whole square because of low slip region. So in that case the supply voltage is reduced below the rated value as per the above equation. Okay, and torque produced also decreases, but to supply the same load it is necessary to develop the same torque, hence the value of slip to be increases. Okay, and so that the torque produced remains same, and slip increase means motor reacts by running at lower speed. So now this is the applied voltage control method. So to decrease the supply voltage, if the voltage is decreases, okay, so motor produces required load torque at the lower speed. And the stator voltage can be done by some power electronic devices also. So we can control the speed of the motor. Suppose this is a three-phase induction motor. So R phase, Y phase and B phase is there. So for this we can use some semiconductor power electronic devices. So these are called as a thyristor. We are going to study in next semester about the power electronics. So these are the thyristors T1, T2. So these are used to control. So there is a firing angle control, we can call it as. So it is acts like a diode itself. One second. Acts like a control. So this firing angle is going to be changed by applying the gate signal. So these thyristors, it will by varying the firing angle, so from 0 to 90 degree. Okay, so the conduction angle is also going to be changed. So the current flowing through this, so and voltage across the induction motor is going to be controlled by means of this thyristor circuit. So this is thyristor voltage control. We can call it as thyristor voltage control. So how it is controlling is, so the graph torque versus speed. So your speed is going to be decreases like this. So it is the normal voltage. So this is with reduced voltage. So this is the speed control characteristics. Speed torque control characteristics for motor using voltage control method. Okay, is it clear? Anybody having any doubt regarding this? How to control the speed? of three-phase induction motor. So next we will discuss about variable frequency control. So what is meant by the variable frequency control? So this is also called as V by F control. The synchronous speed of induction motor, it is given by Ns is equal to 120 F divided by P. The synchronous speed, and therefore the speed of the motor can be controlled by varying the supply frequency as well as the poles, right? So the EMF induced in the stator, that is given by, so your EMF equation E1 is equal to 4.44 kW means KD KP, it is the winding factor, and frequency pi, and number of turns. So therefore the supply frequency is changed. So your EMF is also going to be changed. That is E1 will be going to be changed. So to maintain the same air gap flux. So this is the air gap flux. To maintain the same air gap flux, we need to make constant V by F control. Okay. So if the stator voltage drop is neglected and the terminal voltage V is equal to the E1, so V is also equal to E1. So therefore, in order to avoid the saturation and minimize the losses of the motor operated at the rated air gap flux by varying the terminal voltage with the frequency, so maintain V by F control constant ratio, that is constant at the rated value. So this type of control is known as constant volt per hertz. Volt per hertz, frequency is in terms of hertz, voltage in terms of volts, volt per hertz control. This speed control of an induction motor by using variable frequency supply. So for that we require how to get variable frequency. So there is a circuit for this. So there are so many V by F control techniques are available. That is presently in the industry, VFD control, variable frequency drive. This drive, this will, it is connected to the induction motor. So this will use the variable frequency. So how we will get means, suppose the AC voltage is there. So that can be given to the converter circuit. So from the converter, so what it happens, it is converted to DC. Again you convert to AC by using inverter. So in this inverter we will get variable frequency of AC supply. Okay, so that is we will get variable V and F, both we will get. So this is applied to the three-phase induction motor circuit, applied to the stator part of induction motor. Okay, this is called as electronic scheme of V by F control. So in this control, so we are varying the voltage and frequency with V by ratio constant. Okay, in constant V by ratio we are varying the both voltage and frequency, maintaining both the ratio is constant. Okay, so then we will control the speed of the induction motor. Next one is changing the number of stator poles. Now changing the number of stator poles. So that is, we have Ns is equal to 120 F by P. So frequency voltage variation is over. So now we need to vary the number of poles. If number of poles varies, so if the number of poles are minimum, speed is increases. Number of poles are maximum, speed is decreases. So therefore, change the number of poles, stator poles. So consequent pole method, multiple stator winding method. Third one, pole amplitude modulation method. What are these things? Consequent pole method. So consequent pole method means the number of stator poles can be changed in the ratio of 2:1. So consequent pole method, first one. So here the stator poles of the induction motor that can be changed in terms of 2:1 ratio by simply changing the coil connection. Okay, so for example, suppose this is the S pole, this is N pole, S pole, N pole. There are four poles are there, pole number 1, 2, 3 and 4. So we can connect these poles in terms of series and parallel fashion. Suppose this is A, these are the coils like this. This is B. Suppose I want to connect in series these four poles like this. Say B, C, D. Okay. So I will take four lines A, B, C and D. So suppose according to this, A is connected to first one, connected in series fashion. These S and S are connected like this in series. Similarly, N and N are connected in series. Okay, so connection of four ports. Also we can connect in parallel combination also. This is series connection. Similarly, you can connect the same circuit in reverse order. So this is A, this is C, this is B and this is D terminal, same as it is. But instead of series, I will connect the terminal in reverse order. So this will become parallel circuit. This is called as parallel connection. Okay, so what happens like this? So the pole changing motor, the rotor must be a squirrel cage to avoid the complications caused by the reconnections of rotor winding. So this method especially used in squirrel cage induction motor. It is not using for slip ring because in slip ring induction motor there is some complication in construction of poles. So in squirrel cage motor, you can easily achieve this type method of connection. Suppose there are four poles are there, so we can connect either in series and or parallel combination. So we can achieve the different voltage fluxes are produced here. So due to that, the speed can be varied in a two different manner. Okay, and if the two independent sets of stator windings are employed here, one is series connection, another one is parallel connection, each arranged for the pole changing as many as 4 synchronous speed can be obtained. Okay, there are 4 synchronous speed can be obtained by using these two connections. So figure shows one phase of stator winding consisting of 4 coils divided into two groups, 1 2 3 4. Okay, so one is the AB group, A to B group, another one is CD group. Okay, so group AB consists of odd numbers. Group AB consists of odd numbers. AB 1 and 3 is the odd number. Group CD consists of 2 and 4, that is the even number of poles, 2 and 4. So these are connected in series. So these are connected in series. So therefore the terminal ABCD are taken out. That is terminal ABCD are taken out. That is as shown in figure. The coils can be made as to carry a current in the given direction by connecting coil groups either in series or parallel. That is shown in this figure respectively. So with this connection there will be a total of 4 poles giving a synchronous speed of, suppose if it is 1500 ampere, so rpm, so we can vary the speed by using the different combination of the connection of the stator poles. So these are the stator poles. So likewise the stator poles can be changed. So for example, if the number of poles will be varied, ns is equal to 120 f by p, for frequency is 50 hertz, 120 is also fixed. So if the number of poles are 4, you will get 1500 rpm. If 120 into 50, so if the number of poles are 2, we will get 750 rpm. Okay, so like that we can vary the speed of the induction motor. Sorry, so we'll get 3000 rpm, right? uh, we'll get 3000 rpm. Okay, this is the way of using consequent pole method. Any doubt regarding this? So similarly we can go through the multiple stator winding method. In this method the stator is provided with the two separate windings which are wound for two different poles numbers. One winding is energized at a time. Suppose that motor has two winding for a 6 and 4 poles, 50 hertz. Supplies the synchronous speed, it will be 1000 rpm as well as 1500 rpm. 1000 and 1500. I have told ns is equal to 120 f by p. If number of poles are 4 to 50 hertz, so we'll get 1500 rpm. If number of poles are 6, you will get 1000 rpm. And if the slip is 5%, so if the slip is 5%, the operating speed will be 950 rpm. Okay, for 1000 rpm ns is equal to 1000, so we will get n is equal to 950 rpm for 5% of slip. So, and also you will get 1425 rpm for 5% of slip for 1500 ns. This method is less efficient and also more costly. So can move towards another method, pole amplitude modulation method. So in pole amplitude modulation method technique, it is a flexible method of pole changing which can be used in application where the speed ratio is 2:1 according to the previous method are required. So the motor designed for speed changing based on the pole amplitude modulation scheme, that is known as PAM motor. So this is the different motor available. So this is called as pole amplitude modulation scheme type of motor. So there is no further discussion about this. So in examination they will ask what are the different kinds of speed control of induction motor. Okay, so in that time we need to explain all the types. So in brief, so that's why in pole changing method we have three different kinds. So one is consequent pole method, second one is multiple stator winding method, and pole amplitude method. And in rotor side also we have different techniques are there, so that can be discussed in next class. Okay, so thank you.